Well, hey y'all, happy Tuesday. Well, welcome back. So I hope you had a wonderful week. And as I mentioned last week, I had a plan to talk about personality boards today. Now, this is a really new concept to me. It's not something I'd ever heard about before, like a vision board. But my mom and the girls go to the library a lot and they do crafts. And right after the first of the year, they came home with these boards. And the first thing I thought when I saw them was that they were vision boards, and they were very intriguing to me. But while I was admiring them, and I was asking my mom which belonged to which one of my girls, she said that the library called them personality boards. And when I knew that, I was really awestruck by these boards. And I say that because I think you all know I'm a mom of 4. And when we all came together, my youngest was like 2 or 3. She was 3 when Dale and I met. But aside from that, I would say that I'm always a relatively good judge of character. Like, I can generally nail a person and who they are and what they're about a mile away, I'd say. And like I said, for the most part, I'm no CIA person or like a forensic pathologist, anything like that. But I'll be honest with you and say that one kind of personality that has always kind of left me guessing a little bit has been with my youngest daughter, Jo. And I think that's a lot because she's the youngest of 4. But there's parts of her, especially since she started school, that I don't know what it's about. I see parts of myself in her, and I understand a lot about her, but at the same time, there's parts of her that I just don't get, and I don't know how to identify whether or not she's just mimicking some of us or if she's mimicking some of her friends. And so it's something that I think about, and as odd as it seems, but probably not for any mom, is it's something that I fret about because I feel like I really know my oldest daughter, and I'm always just kind of trying to figure out more about my youngest daughter. So that was a really cool thing for me about these personality boards. So between these 2 boards, if you can see, one is just filled and covered with words, and the other just kind of has a little bit of stuff on it. And that right there was confusing to me for a minute, but then I learned that the busiest board belonged to Jo, my youngest daughter. So what a gift to give me, what a gift to have. And when I got to looking at this board, it's just phenomenal, like the stuff that she's telling me on this board. And I love how creative she got with it. I mean, there's things on here that say be a force of nature, sports, fashion, desserts. She loves to bake. She always talks about wanting to bake, cooking, first. That's a big thing. When you're the 4th child, being first is probably a big thing that you think about. And share your stories. That's something that really can speak to me as a mama, because sometimes being that youngest, you might not always feel like your voice gets heard. To have the best, she's actually really into football now. So football, power, wonder, art, awesome, super, mad genius, whatever you choose. This is the one that I love the most. And there's 2 different places on here that she references wildness. And that's one of the things that perplexes me about her most is that something that she's picked up somewhere else, or is that something that's just naturally a part of her soul? And I feel like from what she's communicating on this board, that it's just a part of who she is. Because this says, and she's 7 years old, okay? Wildness reminds us what it means to be human, what we are connected to rather than what we're separated from. And I think that quote's probably by Terry Tempest Williams. But this was an amazing gift for me to get from Joe. And it told me so much about her and where she's coming from. And so now I feel like I can approach things so differently with her because I know what's her and, you know, who she is. Now, my oldest, May, hers is very simple, but if you'll notice something that's different is that it's really decorated, and that's my oldest girl. She is out to decorate the world with love. You know, there's hearts everywhere. She loves art. There's her painting. She loves to bake. Then her words are fiesta, experience, speak your truth, friends, prove, smart, cook like you, cat. I don't know what the cat thing's about. We don't have a cat. And a unicorn down here. And also that looks like a sleeping mask, and she is one that likes to sleep. So I am just so inspired by these personality boards and the idea of creating personality boards. So the girls are 7 and 9, and we're around in the first of the year, so everybody's birthday's about to move up. But I see how as your child comes out of that toddler stage, you know, and goes through kindergarten, first grade, how powerful it could be to give them some magazines and some words and tell them to, you know, express themselves and tell about themselves in words and pictures. But beyond children that are little, let's talk about teenagers. I mean, teenagers are, you know, like our babies that we thought we knew so well, flipped into this just whole different person that can sometimes be really challenging to understand, and even more challenging when maybe they have social media. So we see what they project, but we don't always get to see what's going on inside of them. So I think that a personality board, even with a teenager, now my boys would sit down and do it, but they're kind of different teens. But I think if you made it a fun activity and you didn't focus on what it was about and that you were seeking information and that it was just an opportunity to be creative, maybe you could get a glimpse into some great insight about your teens. Now I want to go even further to like dating. What about dating and sitting down to do a fun craft like this where you create a personality board? Because this is going to give you a glimpse into that other person and give you an ability to share with that other person things about yourself that you really can't just put into words. And then let's go even further and say married couples. You've been married forever. Maybe your children have grown and left the home. Maybe you're retired now and you've been through a lot of different things in your life, because personalities and who we are, no matter what, are changing all the time, because life changes all the time. We're constantly met with successes and failures that all shift and change the balance and the spice of who we are. So I think that personality boards I could give you a million things. Co-workers, it'd be a great thing to do with co-workers, or your Bible study group, or a women's group that you're in. You know, I just think that it's, even for me, I'm excited about creating my own personality board, because I kind of been swimming for the last 10 years, like I mentioned in the last video. So I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna make one. When I get finished with my vision board, I'm gonna make a personality board, and I'm gonna meditate, and I'm gonna get real quiet, and I'm gonna get in a space by myself, and I'm gonna see what I can tell myself about me and who I'm moving forward into being in these next stages of my life. So that's my big topic for today, is personality boards. And I hope that you are encouraged to create your own. And if you're a single person and you don't have any children and you're like me and you're just like wanting to be courageous and fearless going into this next decade, then sit down by yourself and go into some magazines or print some things off the internet, or just get creative markers and stickers and talk to yourself about who you are with words and pictures and who you want to be. So I hope that this ramble, because obviously this is a ramble, I hope that this was encouraging to you, and I hope it wasn't too crazy and off the wall. And I have to say that I'm proud of myself for not tucking in this hair the entire time that we've been talking, because if you've watched me long enough, I'm constantly tucking the hair. So I hope you have the best day ever, and let me know down below what you think about the concept of making a personality board with anybody in your life or just yourself. And until next time, I hope you have the best day ever.